2001 to 2004, begins tennis career. In 2002, Nadal, aged 15 and ranked 762 in the world, won his first ATP match, defeating Ramon Delgado at Mallorca to become the 9th player in the Open era to win an ATP match before his birthday. His 16th. In 2003, Nadal became the second youngest player in the top 100. He finished 2003 at 49th, winning 2 challenger titles. At his first Wimbledon, at 17, Nadal became the youngest player to reach the third round of this tournament since 1984, with Boris Becker at 16. In 2004, Nadal met Federer for the first time at the 2004 Miami Masters, starting a confrontation between the two rivals that commentators would later consider the most significant conflict in tennis history world. At the time of this match, Federer was already the #1 player in the world, while Nadal was still only in potential form. But Nadal made a big surprise when he won and was one of only 6 players to beat Federer that year, along with Tim Henman, Albert Costa, Gustavo Kuerten, Dominik Hrbatý, and Tomáš Berdych. Unfortunately, he later missed most of the clay court season due to injury. The same year, Nadal became the youngest player in history to win a singles match at the Davis Cup final. He defeated the world #2, Andy Roddick, to bring the championship for Spain. Once defeated the world #1 tennis player Roger Federer, it was not until he overcame Andy Roddick in the Davis Cup final in front of more than 27,000 spectators that Rafael Nadal made a big splash. In every phase of my life, I've had important games. And this victory over Andy Roddick in the Davis Cup is one of them, he said. It's easy to see why that is. The height of 1.82 m is not superior when it comes to the advantages of Nadal. As a left-handed player, Nadal plays effectively with the ball along the sideline and is agile in all situations. In particular, he is like a person born for the clay court. At least for the Spaniards, the fans are also loved for his openness and impressive celebrations when winning essential points on the field. Nadal threw himself on the clay court in indescribable joy with the victory in the Davis Cup. And when teammate Carlos Moya beat Roddick in the decisive singles match to bring home the championship cup, Nadal and no one else received the most congratulations. I have to learn to control my emotions. Sometimes I want to act like a child. Nadal was a surprising choice for his second singles match at the Davis Cup final, replacing former French Open champion Juan Carlos Ferrero. Ferrero has not been in great form because of injury and illness. Nadal's ranking is the lowest among the 4 Spanish players participating in the Davis Cup. I don't understand why people were so surprised when we chose Rafa over Ferrero. He is an outstanding player and suitable for Davis Cup matches, Captain Arce said. Now, Nadal has been mentioned on par with the big names of Spanish tennis, such as Sergi Bruguera, Alex Corretja, Albert Costa, Ferrero, and Carlos Moya. Nadal started playing tennis when he was just a toddler. He loves football and worships his uncle Miguel Angel Nadal, a veteran defender of FC Barcelona. But he also respects another uncle, tennis coach Toni Nadal. I can't remember when I played tennis for the first time. At that time, if I am not mistaken, I was only 3 or 4 years old. The first racket I held was Tony's uncle's. He was a teacher at the school, a tennis club, and then I just played like any other normal kid. At 8, Nadal became the youth tournament champion on the Spanish island of Balearic. And his victory over Hrbatý in the Davis Cup put him second among the youngest players to ever win a singles match in a Davis Cup final. Before him, only Boris Becker could do this. Nadal will be the owner of the Grand Slam title shortly, most experts and great players have said so. He could not attend the world's biggest tournament on clay, the French Open, recently because of persistent injuries. However, he was present in the third round of Wimbledon and the Australian Open. So far, his only ATP title is the championship in Sopot, Poland, in 2004. I wouldn't be surprised if he won a Grand Slam. I said this when Nadal was only 14 years old. Nowadays, it's hard for anyone to beat Roger Federer because he's the strongest player in the world. But Rafa will do what Federer did today. He still has a lot to learn and improve. And the quick French Open will be Nadal's possession, he added. What Captain Arce said and what Nadal did also made Hrbatý convinced. Nadal has all the qualities to become the world #1 player in the future. Before that, he will be the #1 player on clay. Nadal's future is very bright. Anyone can found him to be a player of the big games.